record of the bench warrant arraignment in the matter of Christopher Keith Anthony. Is that you, sir?
Yes, sir.
I'm Judge Middleton. Also present is Keith Stickley, the Chief Public Defender for St. Joseph County, and St. Joseph County Prosecuting Attorney David Marvin. The file number here is 22960FY. You are charged with assault with intent to commit murder, assault with intent to commit great bodily harm, and assault and battery. I understand you've got some new charges involving fleeing, eluding, or something else. You'll be seen by an officer later. Bond was set in this matter in the amount of $250,000. You posted it through quick bail bonds. The matter was set for a pre-exam conference in June, for June 7th. Your attorney was Mr. Paul Gibson. Mr. Gibson was here that day, and you called and said you didn't feel well, and we told you to call your lawyer. You don't get to not feel well when you're charged with assault with intent to commit murder. At any rate, you didn't show up or contact your lawyer, so we issued a bench warrant for your arrest in June, and you just got arrested yesterday, apparently. Where were you arrested?
Bolton.
All right, I don't know where you've been, but this isn't good. Putting two and two together, it appears there may have been some sort of police chase which resulted in your arrest, and I don't know where you've been since June. My inclination is to cancel your bond.
Your Honor, if I could, I'm sorry for interrupting, but if I could interject before we have a bond argument, if I could have a moment to speak with the gentleman, I would appreciate it.
Yes, and Mr. Marvin wants to be heard on it as well.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to put you in a breakout room where you can discuss things privately with the public defender. Click the button that says join.
Can I click it?
Yep. Can you see it? Use the mouse and click on the button that says join. Okay. This is a return to file 22960FY, People versus Christopher Keith Anthony. As we stated earlier, Mr. Anthony was charged with assault with intent to murder, assault with intent to commit great bodily harm, and assault and battery. Mr. Paul Gibson was appointed to represent the defendant. The defendant was supposed to be here for a pre-exam conference on June 7th, never appeared, and a bench warrant issued for his arrest in June of last year. He was arrested last night, and I'm not exactly sure of the circumstances, but he's in custody now. He has some new charges of fleeing, eluding, and some other things. We need to get the case back on track with Mr. Gibson's calendar and set the matter for a pre-exam conference. Before that, Mr. Marvin wants to be heard regarding the bond in this matter. Bond was set in the amount of $250,000, which is a substantial bond, and you violated it by failing to appear. We filed a petition to revoke your bond. I don't know if the bonding company made any effort to find you or not. Mr. Marvin, what's your position regarding bond?
I got a call today from the person in charge of the fugitive team, Michigan State Police. And it was, he wanted to get a message to me because he wanted the court to know the effort that went into getting him. And they identified him as a person who was dangerous, that should not be out. And they took it seriously. And it was a lot of time and effort. And he said from way back in October, they've been trying to get him. And the amount of money, the time and effort that goes into that is substantial. And it even included a helicopter. And he said, if this person is out, we won't see him again. Whatever we do, it's not, at this point, I'm not asking that he be punished, because that's my job and that's next. But what I am asking is, whatever we do, it has to be extremely difficult for him to run again, because I do believe he will.
Mr. Stickley, what's your position?
Your Honor, the gentleman, as far as any bond violation goes, he would obviously admit he wasn't there when he needed to be, and there's no excuse for that. That being said, he wishes that a bond be set, regardless of what it is, and it be set fairly and equitably. He's embarrassed for not showing up. He wants the court to know that, quite frankly, for one, he's been at the same place the entire time. But two, he's been struggling with addiction. That's why he didn't show up. That's why he was too ill to come to court. So he's asking for help. He realizes he has a massive problem. Some dry time in there probably isn't the worst thing in the world for him either. And he looks forward to working with his attorney, Mr. Gibson, and getting this case back on track.
Mr. Gibson, I put you on the spot by just having the bailiff bring you in here. I was looking to see whether you're here either next Tuesday or the following Tuesday, and I don't see you have pre-exams either of those days. But in an effort to get this case back on track, I would like to set a pre-exam conference for next Tuesday and then the prelim, if necessary, for the following Tuesday. Is that acceptable to you, Mr. Marvin?
It is. I'll be handling those on Tuesday, and that's three business days from now. I'll be handling them anyway.
I just had my schedule just freed up for Tuesday since I was going to be doing the jury trial on Tuesday, but those cases resolved. So I am available Tuesday morning, the 21st. It looks like, and it looks like I could be available the afternoon of the 28th. So
all right, 4, 3, 28, 22 at 1. All right, Mr. Anthony, you're going to get some clean time to be sure. I'm going to set the pre-exam on very short notice, 3 business days, for March 21st at 8:30. I don't know whether you ever contacted Mr. Gibson or not, but he's going to come to the jail and visit with you. There's some very serious allegations and some very bad threats contained in the bond information sheet. Preliminary examination, if needed, is March 28th at 1 o'clock. Bond is canceled. No bond. That puts an obligation on the prosecutor to resolve the case within 90 days. Bond could be amended either by me at one of the future hearings or by the circuit judge. But for the time being, there is no bond in this case. The magistrate will see you a little later on the new felony charges of fleeing, looting, whatever else is out there. And Mr. Gibson, thank you for being here to help us work on that date. All right, thank you.
I'll be there.
Mr. Anthony, your lawyer will be coming to see you at the jail. Thank you, Keith, for being here on short notice. All right, let's stop the record.